Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Reading My Physical TBR. We're on episode 5, which is crazy to me, but I'm so excited for today's episode. So, as you guys know, this series is where I read my physical TBR and I use a random number generator to select the book that I will be reading. I then do a non-spoiler reading vlog for the book that the random number generator has selected. I will leave all the links to the previous episodes down below, but without further ado, let me just show you the clip that we took earlier today with the random number generator. Hello everyone, you know what time it is. We're going to be choosing my book that I'm reading for this episode. I think I have about 200 books on here, so let's find out what we're going to read. Okay, we have number 128. Alright, let's do some counting and let's see what the random number generator has pulled for us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 124, 125, 126, 127, 128. Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino. Very interesting. Our book is Before We Were Strangers. I actually read a Renee Carlino book kind of recently and I didn't love it, so I feel like this is going to be a very interesting time. I don't know what to expect with this one, so I'm going to send you back to present day Jamie and we're going to start this book. Okay, so yes, we have Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino. This is gonna be really interesting because, like I said just in the previous clip, I have read a Renee Carlino book recently and I gave it 1 star, but this is the one that like everyone raves about. Like, I've seen this book all over TikTok, so I am very willing to give Renee Carlino another go. I believe this is second chance romance. It's set in New York. That is all I know about it. I'm really excited to get stuck into this. I am just gonna tidy up. Like, I've got all these piles of books behind me. I'm just gonna like tidy up, do things that I need to do around the house, but tonight I'm gonna be settling in and we're gonna be starting our book for the final episode and I'm really excited. So guys, I hope you enjoy the reading vlog and I will see you very soon with my first update. Good morning everyone. So last night I started Before We Were Strangers. I don't really have like much to say about like my opinion on it just yet. I'm only on page 23, so I haven't read it a lot. Based on what I know, like, I'll explain a little bit about what it's about. We seem to be following our main character Matt. He's an adult, he's like fully like in his 30s. He's going through a divorce. He's working for this like pretty corporate job. I believe he's like a nature photographer, but he's working like in a big office in New York. One day he goes out for lunch with his insufferable boss, who is also his friend, I guess, and he sees a woman on the subway. It's like a really fleeting moment, like she is going the other direction to him. He just sees her through the window, but he's like, that is the love of my life. That was my college girlfriend who I haven't spoken to in a very, very long time. And that was all like in the recent timeline. Like, it literally says like first movement recently and then all those chapters happened, and then now I think we're moving on to 15 years ago. So I believe we're going to hear about like their romance in the past and then also them reconnecting. I really hope, because okay, so I read a Renee Carlino book recently and it was another second chance romance, and one of my biggest issues with it was that, like, yes, it's all well and good to have this big epic sweeping romance in, you know, in the past, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, in your childhood, whatever. It's all well and good to have that big sweeping romance. I really don't like when authors will then like really underdevelop the present timeline and just spend so much time on the past. There's no development. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no development, and so there's no chemistry, and I don't buy that they've fallen in love for a second time because they're completely different people now. Renee Carlino did that in the previous book that I read by her. I'm really hoping she doesn't do it in this one. Like, I want to see them in the present timeline like figuring things out and not just all of a sudden getting together automatically because they were in love in the past. It's gonna be interesting. I have no sense of what our female main character Grace is like. Right now we've only been hearing from the perspective of Matt, which is interesting, like only male perspective right now at the beginning. Very weird. But I think I'm gonna spend the majority of today reading it. Like, I don't have that much to do today. I'm just in a really reading mood, so I think I'm gonna continue on with this, and yeah, I'll just let you guys know how I go with it. But yeah, 23 pages down. Anyway, I have just made a coffee, so I'm gonna just keep drinking that and read this while I do. So it's gonna be a good morning. And yeah, manifesting good things from this book. No thoughts right now though. Okay guys, I'm on page 40, and I've met the female love interest, the female main character. She's a little bit manic pixie dream girl for me. Her name is literally Graceland, like Grace. She calls herself Grace. Her full name is Graceland Starr. Graceland Starr. It's like last name Starr. It's a bit much. It's a bit much. And she's very quirky. She's very quirky vibes. Matt, our main character, keeps being like, oh my god, this girl is so crazy. She's so adorable. She's wild and she likes all the same music tastes as me. It's giving 500 Days of Summer. It's giving Manic Pixie Dream Girl. It's giving Zoe Deschanel. Not sure how I'm feeling about that vibe. I hope that it gets like a little bit more emotional soon, a little bit more like real and not so ridiculous. But yeah, Graceland Starr. It gives Lily Blossom Bloom a run for her money. I will keep reading, but Graceland Starr? Come on! She didn't wear much makeup, if any at all, yet her skin's flawless. Of course it is. Hello. Okay, so I have made it to page 103 of Before We Were Strangers. I'm not like not enjoying it, but I also wouldn't say that I'm enjoying it. It's very much like in the middle. I feel like it's gonna be one of these books that like I read, I have a fine time reading it, but I like never think about it ever again once it's done. We have spent basically the entire time in the past timeline since I told you that it was switching. We haven't been switching back and forth. So I think what we will be doing is spending extended periods of time in the past or in the present day. And I don't mind that. I think that's good. I think it leaves a lot of room for development and for us to get to know these characters really well. But like, it's one of those romances where like not a lot is happening right now. Matt and Grace have met, they've become friends very, very quickly. The first time they kind of like hung out, they like donated blood together. I don't know if it was like meant to be this quirky thing where she's like, let's go donate blood. I don't care, like donating blood is a good thing to do. So I guess I kind of liked that. I just find Grace to be slightly insufferable in all of her quirks, and Matt, like reading from his perspective, picking up on all these quirks, like, oh my god, you always smell your food before you eat it. That's so cute. And she's like, oh yeah, I've been doing it since I was a kid. Like, okay, a lot of people smell their food before they eat it, I'm sure. There's these things that are painted as like really quirky and cute and so significant and unique to her, when really she's probably just like a hot girl. And so therefore everything she does is probably unique and special and gorgeous. I'm glad that we are out of Matt's perspective. We are now living in Grace's perspective, and that's fine, I guess. Like, she has this really weird relationship with her college music teacher and she's got these big aspirations. We don't know too much about their like family backstories yet, but I think we're going to find out at least more about Matt's, because I think he's just invited Grace to like spend Christmas with him and his family, although they're not like in a romantic relationship yet. Like, it's heading there, I can see that it's heading there, but at the moment they're just like friends. I don't know, it's all very slice of life right now, which I'm not like mad at. I'm kind of enjoying that not a lot is happening. But yeah, it's like okay. That's like the best way I can put it, is that it's okay. There are some lines where I'm like, that's funny. There are some lines where I'm like, that's cringe. Yeah, it's just your standard kind of college romance right now. I think I am gonna take a quick break from it though. It's definitely like a book where I don't have to think too hard when reading it, and I know that I can get through it very, very quickly. Like, it's an easy read, but I do kind of want a break from reading right now because I have read all morning. So I think I'm gonna go and do some work, like editing and stuff like that. Probably tame whatever's going on. I slept on my hair last night, so I've woken up with the natural waves, but it kind of just looks like a lion's mane. But yeah, I'm probably gonna go and do all that sort of stuff. Tame the hair, do some editing, and then hopefully read some more of this tonight. Hello, so I have read up to page 159 of Before We Were Strangers. It's not giving anything, really. I think I mentioned in the earlier clip that our characters are about to go to Matt's house, or his family home. Is his name Matt? Yeah, it is. They're about to go to his family home to spend Christmas with his family. I mean, I guess we learnt like the bare bones of the family dynamic. I'm not sure if it's gonna come up later. I don't really see why it would. And that whole few chapters, like that whole interaction, it was really kind of boring. I don't know, I feel like I was expecting more drama in this romance novel, and I know that I'm like not even halfway through yet, but I'm close to it. I'm close to being halfway through, and it's just not a lot's happening. Like, our characters were like friends for a bit. They're kind of now immediately in love. Like, that, I don't know, I know it's annoying. I know I say this every single time I read a romance book, but I think I just needed more of them exploring their romance before they're all of a sudden saying their I love yous. Because, like, yes, they were friends first, but it felt like they were friends and then they made out and then now they're in love. And I don't know how I'm feeling about it, but just now, like, there's really not that much going on. They're just having heaps of sex. It's not like super smutty, like, you know that the sex is happening, but it's not like super pornographic or anything. But yeah, they're just having a lot of sex, spending all their time together, having conversations. Like, not a lot is happening right now, and that just means it's not super exciting to me. I've got a few more chapters before we go back to the current present day timeline. We haven't revisited the present day timeline since page 28, and I think the book would have just been slightly more interesting if the timelines were like interwoven with each other, as opposed to just like, here's a little snippet of the present, now here's all of the past, and then now we're back to the present. I just feel like I would be more invested if we got it at like separate times. Or like, no, sorry, at the same time. We got like a chapter of the past, chapter of the present. I really love dual timeline novels, and I know that this is technically a dual timeline novel, but it's not, I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be one of those books that I read, I finish, and then I never really think about again. Like, it's not like bad. Like, that's the thing. My criticisms of this book aren't like, oh my god, I'm hating this. My criticisms are like, give me more, you know? Like, it's just kind of not hitting, but not in a way where I hate it. I'm just like, there's nothing really exciting. There's nothing that is making me want to keep reading or pick up the book, apart from the fact that I'm filming this video. And when I'm reading a book, I really love those moments where I'm like itching to pick it up at all times. And I'm not feeling that with this one, unless it's like, oh, I haven't like read for a bit and I should probably do that so I can finish this video. Not the best vibes, you know? Like, not the best vibes. Anyways, I am about to go out to a friend's house, so I am gonna be putting this down for the evening. I've been reading it for most of the day, but I'm gonna try and read more of it tonight when I get home, so then I can give you more updates tomorrow morning. And I have a really big life event happening on Friday, so, and it's currently Wednesday, so I want to really try and finish this tomorrow. So that's my plan of action for the rest of this book. Read more of it tonight, finish it tomorrow. Okay, that's a good plan of action. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna love you and leave you, and I will finish this book very soon. And obviously you'll get updates on it before I finish it. I'm not even halfway, but I'll just see you soon, and I'll see you guys soon as well, even though I kind of wish I wasn't. Oh, see, I'm making it sound worse than it is. It's not that bad. Anyway, I should just go. Bye. Guys, it's so freaking cold today. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's so cold. Hello, how are we? So I have read up to page 228 of Before We Were Strangers. I have less than 100 pages left. Will absolutely no doubt about it be finishing it today. Like, no doubt we'll be finishing it today. I don't know how to talk about this book because it's genuinely like one of the most boring romances I've ever read. Is that so harsh? Yeah, that's harsh. But it's just really nothing. Like, there's no excitement. I'm not feeling emotional. I think it's maybe because I'm not loving the characters, and if I'm reading a romance novel, like, it doesn't really matter about the plot or if nothing much is happening. If I'm loving the characters so much, then like none of that stuff matters. But I'm just not really finding the characters all that good. Like, I'm glad it's dual POV. I would hate it if it wasn't. Like, I would hate it even more if it wasn't dual POV. So I'm glad that we're getting like an insight of like what happened. Like, we've kind of figured out now what happened, why they were kind of torn apart from each other when they were younger. I don't think it's interesting enough. Like, it's just kind of like, yeah, that's life. I wish it was something a little bit more dramatic, but because it's just like life happening, it doesn't make for a very interesting romance novel. I would have preferred it to be a little bit more exciting. I find Matt to just be really bland and obsessive, and then Grace, it's just a bit of a Mary Sue. I don't know, like, I'm not seeing what the other character is seeing in the other person. Like, it's just kind of two boring people being like, oh my god, I regret so much about the past. I don't know, it's boring. I feel so bad because my previous episode for this series was a 2-star read, and I fear that this is going to be on the same path. I just have a feeling maybe Renee Carlino as an author isn't for me, because this is the second book that I've read from her and I'm not loving it. Like, and this isn't even me being biased or anything. Like, I went into this book with a very, very open mind. I was like, yeah, sure, like maybe Renee Carlino's not for you right now, but that doesn't mean that she's gonna not be for you later. I don't know, I have a feeling she's not for me. I will let you guys know like final thoughts on the book. I think I'm gonna just keep trying to read as much of this as possible this afternoon, and then once I'm finished with it, I will give you like a full kind of like, this is my thoughts. But just know right now, it's not the best thing I've ever read. Well, I'm gonna go continue working today, and then because it's so fucking freezing, I'm just gonna curl up on the couch with this bad boy. But I'm just gonna continue doing all the work I need to do, and then we're finishing that book. We're finishing this book today. I'll probably finish it in like a couple of hours, so I'll see you very soon. I finished before we were strangers. Sorry, also I'm kind of losing my voice. I just did a really long Twitch stream, so if I sound weird, that's why. But I finished this. There was actually a plot twist like that I wasn't expecting, but I really hated it. Actually, I wasn't expecting it, but that's more like because I forgot. Like, there was a moment where something happened and I was like, I wonder if like this is gonna happen. And then like it did happen, but not in the way that I expected. And also like I forgot that I thought that. So when it like actually happened, I was like, oh, that's right. So I didn't like see it coming, but I was like, the hints were there. I ended up giving this 2 out of 5 stars. This, I just think at the end of the day was very dull. It's really unfortunate. Like, it promised high emotion, and it promised epic romance. It promised a drama. And I just feel like, yes, those things happened, like there was drama, but it wasn't epic. It didn't make me swoon. I had no butterflies whatsoever. I just didn't buy the characters. I didn't want them to be together. I just found it, for the most part, really not that entertaining. I really didn't love the writing style. I feel like everything was just like happening, but there wasn't like an interesting writing style or like fun banter or anything like that. I feel like there were maybe moments where the author was trying to like do something funny or do like an amusing scene, do something that was fun and unique, but it was just really like basic and just a really stock standard romance. I don't know, it just didn't feel like it had anything special going for it. It didn't have anything that was like super entertaining, which is just really unfortunate. I'm really upset about this, but I do think that Renee Carlino probably just isn't an author for me. I know she has a really big backlist, so if people like think that maybe I would like a different book by her, feel free to recommend it to me in the comments. But if I search it up and it doesn't really sound that interesting to me, I might not give it a go. But I've given the author a go twice now, so I think it's like very fair for me to say that this author probably isn't for me. And I usually do love to give authors a second chance, just because it's like, I've had authors where one book I don't like by them and one book I do. So I always believe in giving second chances, but not third chances. So this is probably my last time with you, Renee. Thank you for writing 2 books. I just didn't love them, and I'm sorry for that. Guys, that concludes the end of episode 5 for reading my physical TBR. I really hope you enjoyed. Even though I didn't really enjoy the book, I still hope at least there is some interesting content in here. I really, really hope that episode 6 is going to bring a more exciting novel. I know I said that in episode 4 about episode 5, but unfortunately the random number generator just didn't do us well, which is such a shame because, you know, the first 3 episodes were so good. Like, I read such good books for those first 3 episodes, and then episode 4 and 5, we're just not loving it. But hopefully our luck turns around. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. A reminder that all my socials are linked down below, including my Patreon. So if you do want extra content from me, all the information is on the page. But also on top of that, I do have a bonus episode in this series on my Patreon. It was one of my exclusive videos a couple of months back. And obviously, if you join my Patreon, you can have access to like every single exclusive video that I've made. So if you do like these videos, I do have an extra one on my Patreon. But yeah, guys, again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for spending your time with me, and I'll see you very, very soon in another video. Bye.